All right, today's the day. We are going to take out the crappy, broken, super messed up dash. And replace it with the unbroken dash that's upside down right now. So I'm gonna get this old dash out and put in the new one, and it's basically the same exact thing as what I've done in my dash removal video, and that's gonna be that up until we start taking out the wire harness, and then I'll switch over and be a little more detailed. I always like to record the time it takes me to do these things, in case anyone's interested. "16 minutes. I had gotten this moved out, and you can absolutely move it far enough out of the way to completely remove your HVAC box and work on it. However, there are some things, see, plenty of room. Now obviously you're going to be a little bit more careful if you're not, scrapping this, but this is just a freaking mess. Acorn bits from a squirrel. So the first thing you want to do is unplug this. Yeah, it looks like it slides back, and then look, I just found free tools because that's how broken my dash was. Dude lost tools in here. Razor knife and snips. Butter knife. Screwdriver. Am I gonna find gold in here? Exhaust clamp. Tow hook. Yeah, so anyway, once you pull that red thing out of the way, you just push down, pull back the airbag module. So you're a little safer moving that out. Some crazy work in here. All right, so now our brake switch is under a lot of tension. So you just have to press down that little square and then it'll pop right out. We're gonna keep all of the harness. It's pretty easy to get out. There are just little push-in tabs and screws. That's really it. It's pretty straightforward. Try to walk everyone through how to do that. There's one. So you can kind of wiggle these out. Sometimes they don't want to, and that's fine. The antenna is put on just like everything else, but I'm just going to leave it because I already have the antenna in the other dash. So that can just stay. But everything else we can get out. The amp is just, I believe, 3 10mm bolts. Pretty easy to remove. And we'll go ahead and unplug it too. So we're free. Let's see, all the way over there. Go ahead and unplug this speaker real quick. So now to get up under here, obviously we got to get these grounds right here, but there's that. But before you can get to that, way up in here, you actually have a screw and a screw to get those out and then pull off this top piece. And so now that's exposed. So go ahead and take out the next screw down. Okay, here we have, this is the plug for the airbag control, which is normally used in regular cabs, but you put your babies in the back seat in these. Here we have 2 grounds. These are going to be important not to mess up or forget. Obviously, it's easy to label them though. You can always just take some painter's tape. Make sure you know where they go. If you forget them, stuff won't work right and you might ruin a module. I ruined my FCM when I was doing my Hemi swap because I forgot to plug in a ground. And it cost me $100 at the junkyard to get a new one. And it's a discontinued part that they don't make anymore, so that's no fun. All right. The ground wire off. Let's see what's next. So we've got our 12-volt power down here. Just go ahead and unplug that. The ground down there. Okay. So, yep, that's all we're doing though. We're just working off the harness piece by piece. Just like with this piece, we're gonna have this one right here with a screw behind it. Peep around the edge, there's our screw. It's gotta come up over these right there and then it slides. There we go. There we have most of this little monster out of the way. Right, we're gonna have to get up in the gauge cluster and undo this one, and then there's going to be one that comes around the other side to the gauge cluster as well. So yeah, we should be over there now. Loosen up. All right. Pull that out of the way. Unplug that too. There is just 2 screws up top, and then I believe 2 more in the bottom. holds that harness in place. There you go. I'll slip right out. Okay. And ow, just poked the frick out of myself. Damn. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out the radio. That's all right. There's a screw right there. Just like all the other screws holding in. Okay. So I think that is everything. Oh yeah. You should undo the emergency brake cable first before you go and yank the dash out. I forgot about that. Oops. It's okay though, no harm done. So let's see if that's everything. Yep. Before we can just hook up the dash, we have to get the airbag out of the old one and into the new one. I've already taken the new one out when I was at the junkyard because they were going to charge me a bunch of money for it. Also, this is from a 2005, so the plug doesn't work anyway. I'm just going to take mine out of here now and show how to put it in here. Okay, so we got the dash lying down. Here's the glove box, and here is the airbag. So what we're gonna do is take out this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and that one down there. Just those four. Got a 10mm ratcheting wrench. What you need to do now is take out all of these screws over to pretty much here, and I believe that one and that one too. And what that's going to allow you to do is peel this plastic back just enough to undo the screws that are underneath of there, so you can remove the airbag. Now you can peel this back out of the way, and that'll allow you to access the screws that you need to access to get this out. Voila, right? Now that's free. Now, to get this out, because we just want the airbag and we don't want the plastic cover. So you just take a flathead and work it off. A little bit tedious, but very straightforward. So then, to put it back on, it's just the same thing in reverse. Now we have our airbag where it needs to be. There we go. There we go. I got my 4 bolts in. Right there, right there, right there, and right there. Just gotta tighten them. There we go. All right, now the airbag is installed. Now we can just go through and put everything back together the way it was. Yay. When putting the harness back on, it's good to go ahead and just undo these connections here. That way you'll be able to move this all the way to the rail. And it's easy to plug them back in once the dash is actually up. So now with these connections undone, just pick it up. That'll be a lot easier. All right, so I'm finally finished. Let me grab the watch, figure out how long it's been. Wow, not bad. Took 3 hours and 28 minutes to get my old broken dash out and get the new one in, new used one. So, yep. Now that it's getting a little darker, I guess I better show it real quick before it gets too dark. Haven't cleaned it yet. Still got some duct tape residue or something up here, but let's make sure it still turns on. All right, let's see if I broke any wires. Looks like we're all good. HVAC is recalibrating. My ABS module is still unplugged. I was messing with the PCM. Yep, let's see if it runs. Still runs. No check engine lights. I still have the bad PCM in, so the gauge is just, it tells me I got no oil pressure. It's a lie. I got plenty of oil pressure. But, yep, still works. New dash. How about that? Much better than the old beat up one.